The sun was barely rising over the Orion expanse, casting long shadows across the massive Starship yard. Rows upon rows of sleek, gleaming ships stood ready, their polished hulls reflecting the early light like mirrors. The aliens working there moved with precision, their many arms and claws adjusting panels, calibrating engines, and running final diagnostics. Among these magnificent vessels, one starship stood out, for all the wrong reasons. The Vanguard's whisper was old. Its hull bore scratches and dents, patches of paint had peeled off long ago, and its engines looked clunky compared to the newer models. It was smaller than most ships in the yard, and the design seemed outdated. Many aliens passed it with derision, whispering to each other in complex tones that translated roughly to junk, space relic, or simply laughter. Humans were rare in this part of the galaxy, and even rarer were humans who dared to work in interstellar engineering. Among them was Alex Wren, a human mechanic known for thinking differently. Alex had arrived at the Orion Expanse Starship yard with a small, worn toolkit slung over his shoulder and a spark of curiosity in his bright, determined eyes. Where others saw scrap metal and a failing starship, Alex saw possibilities. "Another human wasting time," muttered Zorath, a tall, three-eyed alien with metallic limbs, as he looked at Alex approaching the Vanguard's whisper. "That ship is useless. Nothing human hands touch can fix it." Alex didn't respond. He crouched next to the ship, running his fingers along the hull, tracing every scratch, dent, and panel seam. "There's something here," he murmured to himself. "Something they didn't see." The other engineers gathered around, curiosity mixed with amusement. "It's broken," another alien hissed. "Even if you tinker, it won't fly like the new models. Don't waste your time." Alex smiled faintly. Maybe they never knew what to look for. He opened the access hatch to the ship's core system, and a dim light glowed inside. The wiring was old, tangled in a way that screamed neglect, but there was a strange beauty to it. A system had been partially deactivated long ago. Someone had hidden this starship's true strength. Alex worked quickly, carefully. He connected tools, bypassed broken circuits, and studied the alien schematics printed in an intricate language. Humans weren't known for reading alien engineering plans, but Alex had a way of thinking that was different. He could look at a design and see what it was trying to do, not just what it said. Zorath shook his head in disbelief. "What are you doing? That core is ancient. It hasn't worked in centuries. You'll overload it and see what's possible," Alex finished. He activated a small control panel and the ship shivered slightly. A low hum began, almost as if the starship itself was awakening. The other aliens gasped. The humans' reckless method seemed to work. "Impossible," one of them whispered. Alex spent hours in the ship's engine room, climbing over panels, adjusting power flows, and even creating improvised tools to reach components alien technology hadn't imagined needing repair. By midday, the ship's systems were partially online. Lights flickered along the control panels, sensors blinked to life, and the engine core emitted a soft blue glow. "What is that?" asked a small, insect-like alien, its antennae quivering. "Potential," Alex said simply. By afternoon, the aliens had grown frustrated. Some tried to stop him, insisting he was wasting precious time, but Alex ignored them. He had seen things no one else noticed: hidden compartments that held unused power conduits, secret thruster boosters tucked under the hull, and a small, ancient AI that had been partially erased but still remembered how to function. He activated the AI. A soft, metallic voice whispered in a human language, surprisingly clear. "Human authorized systems," Alex grinned. "You could use a tune-up. Let's see what you can really do." The AI blinked to life fully, its memory bank slowly revealing capabilities that had been long forgotten. Shields that could flex and adapt, engines capable of bursts faster than any other ship in the yard, and defensive systems that were not just functional, but clever. The Vanguard's whisper wasn't just a starship. It was a hidden weapon of ingenuity, waiting for someone to understand it. Outside, the alien engineers could only watch. They had mocked the ship all morning, but now it hummed with life. They whispered to each other, fear mixing with disbelief. "It's moving." Alex guided the ship through a few simple tests. He powered up the engines, and the ship lifted slightly above the landing platform, hovering in a smooth, balanced way that defied its battered appearance. The aliens gasped as it rotated in midair, more agile than it had any right to be. "Not bad for a relic," Alex said, patting the hull gently. "Not bad at all." Hours turned into evening, but Alex didn't stop. He studied the ship's controls, rewrote partial codes, and connected the AI to new systems he invented on the spot. By the time the yard's lights dimmed, the Vanguard's whisper had transformed. It still looked battered, still seemed old and laughable, but its systems whispered promise and power. Zoreth approached, his three eyes narrowed. "You can't possibly, that's impossible. It shouldn't," Alex smiled. "You're looking at it wrong. It's not about how it looks. It's about what it can do." The aliens left, mumbling to each other. They would report back to their fleets, laughing at the human who dared touch the forgotten starship. They didn't understand that sometimes human intuition and creativity didn't rely on appearances. They relied on vision. As night fell, Alex climbed to the ship's bridge. The stars of the Orion expanse stretched infinitely before him. He activated the main console and allowed the ship's AI to guide him through diagnostics. Every system was now functional, and small upgrades Alex had improvised were integrated seamlessly. "Tomorrow," Alex whispered, "we'll show them." Somewhere deep in the ship's core, the AI pulsed in agreement, as if it had been waiting for centuries for someone like Alex to arrive. The Vanguard's whisper was no longer a ship to be laughed at. It was a sleeping giant, and the galaxy had no idea what was about to awaken. Alex leaned back, exhaustion settling in, but his heart raced with excitement. The journey had only begun. If humans were rare in this galaxy, then they were about to be remembered. And in the distance, hidden from view, the other Starship crews continued their preparations, unaware that the human mechanic had already begun a revolution in ingenuity. Because sometimes, it wasn't the size, shine, or reputation of a starship that mattered. Sometimes, it was the mind behind it. And Alex Wren was about to prove that humans could see strength where others saw weakness. The next morning, the Orion expanse yard buzzed with activity. Alien engineers moved in precise, synchronized motions, preparing ships for demonstration trials. Every vessel gleamed, polished to perfection, designed to impress. But in the corner, the Vanguard's whisper remained quietly still, its battered hull a stark contrast to the others. Alex Wren arrived early, carrying his toolkit and a small tablet loaded with schematics. His eyes sparkled with anticipation. The previous day's work had awakened the ship, but today would be the real test, pushing it beyond what anyone, even himself, thought possible. "Still here," Zoreth's voice hissed behind him. "You really think you can turn that junk into a competitor?" Alex didn't look back. "It's not junk, you just don't understand it." The aliens snorted but moved away. Alex entered the ship, slipping past its hatch and into the bridge. The soft hum of the engines greeted him like a loyal companion. The AI's lights blinked in recognition. "Good morning, Alex," it said. "Systems nominal, recommendations available." Alex smiled. "Good. Let's make you extraordinary." He began by analyzing the engine matrix. The ship's core had potential, yes, but its efficiency was below standard. Alex tapped a few sequences into the console, rerouting power through hidden conduits he had discovered the previous day. The engines shivered, then glowed brighter, humming with renewed energy. Meanwhile, the other alien engineers walked by, shaking their heads in disbelief. "I told you," Zoreth muttered. "It won't last. You'll fry it before it even leaves the platform." Alex ignored them. He was thinking several steps ahead. Human mechanics weren't about brute strength or raw technology. They were about creativity, intuition, and seeing connections that others missed. By mid-morning, the first breakthrough occurred. The ship's shields, previously basic, began to adapt. Alex had modified the control circuits, using a method no alien engineer had thought to try, combining real-time sensor input with AI prediction algorithms. Now, the shields could flex in response to changing conditions, effectively making the ship harder to hit and more energy efficient. Outside, a small group of aliens stopped to watch as the shield displays flickered with complex patterns, expanding and contracting almost like breathing. They whispered among themselves, suspicion and awe mixing. "Impossible," said one. "It should not react that fast." Alex, however, was focused on the next task, mobility. The Vanguard's whisper was not fast, not yet. Its thrusters were functional but unremarkable. But Alex had noticed hidden auxiliary thrusters tucked under the hull, which the original designers had left unused for reasons no one understood. He activated them in sequence, connecting their output to the ship's core systems. The ship shivered, then lifted off the platform slightly, rotating in midair with precision. The aliens gasped. A ship so old, so battered, was demonstrating maneuverability beyond what many newer models could achieve. "Look at that," one alien exclaimed. "It's adapting." Alex grinned. "You just have to know where to look." By afternoon, Alex moved to the sensor systems. The other ships relied on raw power, but Alex knew humans had another advantage: creativity in problem solving. He tweaked the sensors to detect subtle energy fluctuations, gravitational anomalies, and even minor space debris that would typically be missed. In a trial test, he sent the Vanguard's whisper scanning the surrounding yard, and it mapped the area with unprecedented accuracy. Zoreth's three eyes widened. "How is this possible? The schematics, they shouldn't allow this." Alex shrugged. "Sometimes schematics don't tell the whole story. You have to experiment, test, adapt." By evening, the ship was humming like a living thing. Engines glowed, shields pulsed, sensors blinked with precision. Alex leaned back, sweat on his brow but excitement in his eyes. He had unlocked a small portion of the ship's hidden power, and already it was outperforming many of the newer, perfect vessels around it. Then came the first test. A group of alien engineers gathered for a small demonstration. They chose a simple obstacle course, a narrow flight through a series of suspended asteroids, designed to challenge piloting and navigation skills. They expected the Vanguard's whisper to fail spectacularly. Alex took the controls. The ship responded instantly, reacting to every adjustment. He didn't rely solely on thrusters. He combined AI guidance with manual corrections, a synergy of human intuition and machine precision. The ship wove through the obstacles with grace, turning in ways older and newer ships alike could not. Alien engineers gasped. Their perfect vessels struggled, often hitting the markers or needing corrections. "You're cheating somehow," Zoreth shouted. "This is impossible." Alex chuckled. "It's not cheating, it's understanding." After the trial, the ship hovered quietly. Alex disconnected a few circuits, ran diagnostics, and made notes for further improvements. He wasn't done. There was more potential in this old starship than any of the aliens could imagine. That night, while the yard was quiet, Alex worked in the dim glow of the ship's interior. He discovered an unusual energy conduit running through the ship's core. It seemed almost alive, pulsing faintly with a rhythm that matched the ship's AI. No alien engineer had noticed it. It was hidden, partially deactivated, and completely misunderstood. Alex spent hours carefully connecting it to the ship's power distribution. He created a feedback loop, something no one had ever tried before, allowing the ship to draw more power without overloading the core. The engine core glowed brighter than ever, humming with restrained energy, like a coiled spring ready to launch. Suddenly the AI spoke, its voice filled with a strange excitement. Human potential exceeding design specifications. Warning, high efficiency achievable. Alex smiled. Good, I like high efficiency. The next morning, word had already spread across the yard. Aliens whispered about the human who had awakened the old starship. Some came to watch, skepticism mixed with curiosity. They had expected disaster, but instead, they saw a ship that moved like no other, its systems seemingly alive and responsive. Perhaps the human has discovered something, an elder engineer muttered. But even so, can it handle the trials tomorrow? Alex knew the true trials were still ahead. The official Starship tests that measured speed, durability, and adaptability. He had prepared the ship for small demonstrations, but tomorrow would push it further. Inside the ship, Alex ran the final checks. Shields were responsive, engines optimized, sensors enhanced, and the AI fully integrated with human guidance systems. Every panel, every circuit had been carefully tuned. The ship was no longer a relic, it was a testament to human ingenuity. Ready for tomorrow? The AI asked. Always, Alex replied. Let's show them what humans can do. That night, as he slept aboard the ship, the Vanguard's whisper rested quietly, its systems humming softly like a heartbeat. The galaxy outside was vast and full of doubt, but inside this old starship, a new promise was growing. A human mind could unlock potential that even advanced alien engineering could not comprehend. And somewhere in the yard, the aliens whispered, still unable to fully grasp what they had witnessed. The Vanguard's whisper was no longer a joke. Tomorrow, it would show its true strength, and the humans who built it would begin their rise in the galaxy. Because sometimes, it wasn't the ship that mattered most. It was the mind controlling it. The next morning, the Orion Expanse Starship yard buzzed with excitement and tension. Ships from across the galaxy had gathered for the interstellar trials, a series of tests designed to measure speed, agility, and overall capability. Polished vessels gleamed under the twin suns, their crews confident in their perfect designs. Among them, the Vanguard's whisper sat quietly in the corner, its scratched hull and patched exterior drawing smirks and whispers. Alex Wren stood by the ship, his toolkit replaced by confidence and determination. Beside him, a small crew of human assistants checked systems one last time. The aliens around them whispered, exchanging amused and skeptical glances. Seriously, Zorath said, folding his arms. You're really going to enter that ship into the trials? Alex smiled faintly. Not that ship, my ship. The first trial was announced, a navigation and maneuverability test through a dense asteroid field simulated in the yard. It wasn't just about speed, it was about precision, reaction, and adaptability. Many advanced alien ships had already failed in preliminary runs, struggling to correct their course in time. Alex entered the bridge, taking his seat. The AI pulsed with readiness, lights blinking in synchronization with his heartbeat. Sensors online. Navigation systems optimized. Recommended flight path calculated, the AI said. Good, Alex replied. Let's show them what humans can do. The field ahead was chaotic, a network of moving asteroids, artificial gravity wells, and energy barriers. The other pilots accelerated quickly, relying on their standard protocols and automated controls. Within moments, several of them collided with obstacles or veered off course, their systems unable to adapt to the sudden changes. The Vanguard's whisper lifted smoothly from the platform. Its thrusters hummed quietly, guided by Alex's hands and the AI's predictive calculations. Unlike the other ships, it didn't rely solely on pre-programmed instructions. It observed, learned, and reacted in real time. A small asteroid drifted suddenly into its path. Alex adjusted the thrusters, activating auxiliary boosters hidden under the hull. The ship twisted mid-air, moving with grace and agility. The shields flexed automatically as it passed close to the energy barriers, absorbing minor impacts that would have damaged other vessels. The alien crowd gasped. "It's avoiding everything," one whispered. "No ship should do that," Alex grinned. "It's not just a ship. It's human thinking combined with engineering." By the end of the first trial, the Vanguard's Whisper had completed the course flawlessly. Every other ship had made at least one mistake. Several had been disqualified entirely. Alex and his team barely had time to celebrate before the second trial was announced: long-distance navigation through a simulated meteor storm. This test measured endurance, efficiency, and the ability to adapt to unpredictable conditions. Many ships relied on powerful engines and brute force, consuming massive amounts of energy to push through obstacles. Alex had a different strategy. "Keep energy levels balanced," he instructed the AI. "Use shields only when necessary and let the ship anticipate changes in the storm." The meteor storm was a swirling mass of debris, moving faster than most ships could react. The other pilots struggled, boosting engines in panic, recalculating paths frantically. The Vanguard's Whisper, however, glided smoothly. Its adaptive shields absorbed impacts only when required, sensors detected subtle energy variations, and auxiliary thrusters provided precise corrections. Alex's human intuition allowed the ship to take shortcuts through the storm, unseen by the automated systems of other ships. Where others zigged, he zagged. Where they hesitated, he accelerated. The ship moved like a living organism, responding to every challenge as if it could think. By the time the storm cleared, the Vanguard's Whisper was not only ahead, it had completed the course using less energy than any other competitor. The aliens stared, mouths open, disbelief etched into every face. The third trial tested adaptability, a dynamic course that changed in real time, forcing pilots to make decisions on the fly. Platforms shifted, energy barriers moved, and simulated gravitational anomalies threatened to throw ships off course. Many alien crews panicked. Their ships, designed for fixed patterns and protocols, struggled to react. Alex, however, remained calm. He trusted the ship, his understanding of its hidden systems and the AI's predictive capabilities. "Ready?" the AI asked. "Always," Alex replied. The course shifted suddenly. A massive energy barrier dropped into the ship's path. The AI calculated dozens of potential routes, but Alex noticed a minor flaw in its logic. He overrode the suggestion and activated a hidden thruster sequence he had discovered during late-night experiments. The ship twisted, ducked, and slid past the barrier effortlessly. Next, the platforms shifted unpredictably. Other ships bounced off or struggled to maintain control. The Vanguard's Whisper adapted instantly. Its shields flexed as needed, engines pushed just enough thrust to maintain stability, and sensors scanned for the next change before it even arrived. The crowd grew silent, shocked by the human-engineered ship's performance. Whispers of "impossible" and "how" filled the yard. Zoreth, normally quick with mockery, had no words. He could only watch. Finally, the last challenge of the trial approached: a simulated gravitational anomaly designed to push ships to their structural and computational limits. Ships were drawn toward the center, requiring precise adjustments to escape. Many competitors failed, their automated systems unable to calculate the necessary maneuvers quickly enough. Alex took a deep breath. "Trust the ship," he muttered. The Vanguard's Whisper responded, its core humming with power. He activated the adaptive engines and auxiliary thrusters in perfect synchronization, letting the AI guide minor adjustments while he made instinctive corrections. The ship twisted, rolled, and accelerated, escaping the anomaly with perfect control. The crowd erupted in stunned applause, though it was mixed with disbelief. The Vanguard's Whisper, the ship that had been laughed at, had not only survived the trial but dominated it. For the first time, the aliens truly saw human ingenuity in action. It wasn't strength, size, or raw power that had won. It was creativity, intuition, and the ability to think differently. After the trial, Alex and his team ran diagnostics. The ship had performed perfectly, its systems intact, and energy reserves still high. It wasn't just a victory, it was a demonstration of human potential. Zoreth finally approached, his three eyes narrowed but filled with a grudging respect. I underestimated you, human, he admitted. Your ship, it's more than we could imagine. Alex smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. It's not just the ship, it's what humans can do when they see potential where others see weakness. The alien engineers murmured among themselves. Today, they had witnessed something extraordinary. The Vanguard's whisper had proven that human creativity and resourcefulness could outmatch advanced alien engineering, not through brute force, but through understanding, adaptation, and imagination. As night fell, the shipyard quieted. Alex stood on the bridge looking out at the stars, the hum of the ship's core echoing in the empty hall. Tomorrow, the final trials would push the ship even further, tests of endurance, raw power, and efficiency in extreme conditions. But for now, the Vanguard's whisper had made a statement. It wasn't a relic. It wasn't a joke. It was a symbol of what humans could achieve, even against a galaxy that doubted them. Alex placed a hand on the control panel, feeling the vibrations of the engines beneath his fingers. "We've done well today," he said softly, "but we're just getting started. The best is yet to come." The AI pulsed in agreement. Human potential exceeds expectations. Final trials pending, ready for continued optimization. Alex smiled. "Good, let's show them the full strength of human ingenuity." And somewhere beyond the stars, the galaxy began to take notice. A small human crew, aboard a once-laughed-at starship, was changing the way everyone thought about potential, creativity, and strength. The Vanguard's whisper had proven itself in the first trials. The next day, it would face its greatest challenge yet. And when it did, no one would ever doubt humans again. Because sometimes, strength isn't about what you can see, it's about what you can imagine and what you can make real. The morning sun rose over the Orion Expanse yard, casting light across ships of every shape and size. The air was filled with anticipation. Today was the final day of the interstellar trials, the last tests, the ultimate challenge, and the moment when a ship would prove its worth beyond doubt. Among the assembled competitors, the Vanguard's whisper stood quietly in its corner, scratched hull and worn patches stark against the polished perfection of the others. Aliens whispered, some still doubting, some curious, and a few beginning to feel a spark of respect. Alex Wren entered the bridge calm but focused. His human crew followed, preparing systems and running final checks. The AI pulsed gently, ready for the final trials. "Final challenge," the AI said. Extreme conditions. Simulated galactic storm with gravitational anomalies, energy surges, and moving obstacles. Efficiency, adaptability, and precision required. Alex nodded. "We're ready. Let's show them what humans can do when we work together." The gates opened, revealing the storm. Swirling clouds of energy, unpredictable gravity wells, and floating debris created a chaotic, dangerous environment. Ships accelerated forward, engines roaring, shields glowing. Many competitors struggled immediately, overcompensating for the shifting currents and unstable energy fields. The Vanguard's whisper lifted smoothly. Alex's hands guided the controls, but he relied as much on intuition as on systems. The AI predicted movements and suggested courses, but Alex made instinctive adjustments, correcting even the tiniest errors before they became problems. The first obstacle was a massive energy wave sweeping across the course. The other ships pushed directly against it, engines straining and shields weakening. Alex activated auxiliary thrusters, tilting the ship sideways, and the wave passed harmlessly beneath. The shields adapted automatically, absorbing minimal energy. "Nice move," one of the alien engineers muttered, unable to hide astonishment. "I've never seen that done before." Next came a gravitational anomaly, a sudden, swirling vortex pulling ships off course. Several competitors were caught, their systems unable to compensate. The Vanguard's whisper approached cautiously. Alex calculated the forces intuitively, adjusting thrusters and engine output in precise timing. The ship rotated, twisted, and slipped through the vortex without losing speed or balance. The alien crowd began murmuring in disbelief. A human-engineered ship, once laughed at, was performing feats that no other vessel could manage. Then, the storm intensified. Energy surges zigzagged unpredictably, and moving debris created a deadly maze. Other ships slowed, recalculating, some even shutting down to avoid damage. Alex didn't hesitate. He let the ship flow with the storm, turning obstacles into shortcuts, letting energy surges guide rather than hinder him. The ship's sensors detected small fluctuations in the storm, energy currents invisible to others. Alex's human intuition read them instantly. He adjusted shields and engines, dodging obstacles that even automated systems failed to recognize. Each maneuver was smooth, precise, and efficient. By the time the storm's chaos began to subside, the Vanguard's whisper had completed the course faster and with less energy than any other competitor. It wasn't just a victory, it was a demonstration of brilliance. The crowd erupted into stunned applause. Alien engineers stared, their previous skepticism replaced by awe. Zorath, normally brash and critical, approached Alex, his three eyes wide. I underestimated humans," he admitted. "Your ship, it's extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it." Alex smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. "It's not just the ship, it's how humans see opportunity. We don't just follow rules, we create solutions." Next came the final test: endurance and raw efficiency. Ships had to maintain maximum output for extended periods, navigating unpredictable obstacles while conserving energy. Many vessels struggled immediately, engines overheating, shields faltering, and systems shutting down. The Vanguard's whisper hummed steadily. Alex had already optimized energy flow, balanced shields, and enhanced engine output using hidden conduits he had discovered days ago. The ship ran smoothly, even under stress. Every surge, every obstacle was handled with grace. Hours passed. The sun moved across the sky. Other ships began showing signs of strain. Engines sputtered, shields flickered, and crews grew fatigued. Alex and his team barely needed to make adjustments. The human-engineered ship had become more than a vessel. It was a partner, a testament to ingenuity and adaptability. Finally, the trials concluded. Ships hovered in formation, crews exhausted and relieved. Judges recorded final data, and the results were undeniable. The Vanguard's whisper had outperformed every competitor in agility, efficiency, adaptability, and endurance. The yard fell silent as the lead judge, a tall, multi-limbed alien, approached. His voice resonated across the yard. "Today," he began, "we have witnessed something extraordinary. A ship once dismissed as obsolete has surpassed all expectations. Its performance demonstrates creativity, ingenuity, and teamwork beyond any known standard." All eyes turned to Alex and his ship. The aliens whispered among themselves, shock and admiration evident on every face. "Humans," the judge continued, "you have shown the galaxy that potential cannot be measured by size, appearance, or tradition. Innovation and ingenuity can overcome limitations that even advanced technology cannot." The crowd erupted in applause, some cheering, some still stunned into silence. Alex and his crew exchanged smiles, proud but humble. The Vanguard's whisper had proven itself, but more importantly, humans had proven themselves. After the ceremony, Alex walked to the ship's hull, placing a hand on its surface. "We did it," he said softly. "You weren't just a relic, you were waiting for someone to see your potential." The AI pulsed gently. "Acknowledged, human potential realized." "Future performance optimization possible," Alex chuckled. "There will be time for more of that, For now, let's enjoy this moment. News spread quickly across the galaxy. Aliens who had doubted humans now saw them differently. Where they had once mocked, they now respected. The human ability to innovate, to adapt, and to see opportunity in what others overlooked was undeniable. Zoreth approached one last time, holding out a metallic hand. Alex Wren, human, your work today will be remembered. You and your crew have set a new standard for all of us. Alex shook it firmly. Thank you. Remember, it's not about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about thinking, adapting, and believing in what others dismiss. As evening fell over the Orion expanse, the Vanguard's whisper lifted gently from its platform. Its battered hull now gleamed under the fading light, powered by systems optimized, upgraded, and uniquely human. Alex piloted it into the open sky, the stars stretching endlessly before him. "Where to next?" asked one of his crew. Alex smiled, eyes bright. "Anywhere, everywhere. Humans have work to do, and the galaxy has a lot to learn." The Vanguard's whisper soared through the expanse, no longer a forgotten relic, no longer a joke. It was a symbol, a legacy, and a testament to what humans could achieve when creativity, courage, and ingenuity came together. And as it disappeared into the starry horizon, one truth was clear: the galaxy would never again underestimate humans. The Vanguard's whisper had awakened. Humanity had awakened.